Yo, what's poppin', people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I do hope you are all doing well today, mate. I really do hope that. Welcome to Chelsea Therapy.
Wow.
Ooh, new and different. That's right, Chelsea Therapy, a new series that I'm going to test out here on Football Therapy, where I want to give you guys something a little bit different. Of course, you might know me for doing Chelsea News, where I react to headlines regarding Chelsea Football Club and give you my opinions and insight on certain stories, and I do match reviews and previews and stuff like that. But I wanted to do something a little bit different. This is Football Therapy. I'm an animated, emotional. Where am I going with this? Basically, I wanted to do a series where I give you a little bit more of my personal thoughts and feelings and I guess emotional reactions to what's happening at Chelsea Football Club. You know, a bit more of an insight to how I genuinely feel about results, happenings, players. Do you know what I mean? Not just a match review where I look at a game in isolation, but I really want to give you my thoughts and opinions and I guess more my emotions and insight to Jan's emotions on how things are going. So what better way to do that than start a series called Chelsea Therapy? It's a pretty easy and simple series to understand, but there is a minimal bit of structure. I want to do two sections, the good and the bad. So there'll be subject matter, whether it's a game or something that's going on at Chelsea, and I'll talk about the good and I'll talk about the bad in my opinion, and then we open up a discussion down in the comment section below. Pretty simple, right? So this is going to be Chelsea Therapy for the Southampton game. Take a deep breath, get yourself a drink, settle in or strap yourselves in as we get into this video. Perfect opportunity though to let you boys and girls know that this video is brought to you by OneFootball. A ding, ding, ding. That's right, OneFootball, the totally free source of information, application, phone app, website, news source, whatever you want to call it. Totally free. It gives you everything you need to know about Chelsea, any other club team or your international team, scores, fixtures, update, lineups, results, what else? Transfer news, all content regarding football, and it's totally free. I have it on my phone. I use it quite often / all the time, and you could too by clicking the link in the top of the description and doing yourself that favor. So do it. Alright then, let's get into it. So take a deep breath in and out as we enter Chelsea Therapy. Alright, generally we're about positivity here on Football Therapy, so let's start off with the good. Chelsea, of course, dropped points against Southampton from 2-0 up to 2-1 up to 3-2 up and eventually drawing 3-3. But there were good things from that game, and the good starts with Chelsea's first 40 minutes of play. Scintillating attacking play when Chelsea went 2-0 up before they conceded. They looked magnificent. Of course, the two goals were scored by Timo Werner, and if the way you look at them, they were individually executed beautiful goals. That's how Chelsea converted said two goals, but the fact remains is Chelsea's offensive attacking play was superb. The combination between the entire front four, I do include Mount in that even though he had a relatively poor game, but generally Pulisic, Havertz, Werner, the way they interchanged and moved around, especially for the third goal as well in the second half, they looked superb. It doesn't look like there's going to be any issue whatsoever with Chelsea's attacking talent clicking together, finding chemistry. Of course, we know there is an existing relationship already from the national team with Timo Werner and Kai Havertz, and obviously they talk a lot and I think they have a good chemistry off the pitch, so therefore that's translated rather well and rather easily onto the pitch and there's no concern there. But Pulisic looks good to go to combine. We've seen Tammy combine with Havertz, we've seen Hudson-Odoi combine with Havertz, and honestly that is a huge positive. It looks like the attacking what's the word I'm looking for? You know what? Let's forget that. It looks like the attack isn't an issue. Ian Wright on Match of the Day, when assessing the Chelsea game, said, look, I'm not worried about Timo Werner at all. I felt the same way before he scored these two goals, because he's looked like he's fit right in. The runs, the pressing, the movement. He got a bit unlucky with not converting up until this point. So genuinely, the attack, Chelsea bought all these new players, all these new attackers, and the concern was, but are they going to be able to play together? Are they going to be able to link up? Are they going to score goals? And the answer is, pretty categorically, yes they can. can. Yes, they do fit together. No, there is no concern there. And Frank Lampard's always maintained he wants a lot of expression and free-flowing movement in his attack, and that looks to be achieved. So that is a huge tick, and that is the good in today's video. Now, let's switch over to the bad. This is time where I really do express the darker sides of perhaps how I feel about Chelsea Football Club at the moment. I'm sure you all know I'm a big fan of Frank Lampard being the Chelsea coach, but of course he can't go without criticism. I'm happy to criticise his selections, playing Mount up right wing, or sometimes, if he makes wrong tactical decisions. I'm cool for that, but to be honest, at the moment, if I'm addressing this game, yes, you could say it was individual errors, and it was, but I want to focus on the Chelsea team mentality for the bad today. So let me elaborate on that just a little bit. Chelsea conceded a goal through a Kai Havertz error. Now, it wasn't a really bad error. He just tried to win the ball back. He was sort of falling over when he was in contact with an opposition player, and it was by no means a howler. It was one of those moments of, yeah, it's unfortunate that happened. The opposition go on and score the goal. Now, this happens in every team in world football, especially when it's not a really glaring, obvious, dumb mistake, when it's just one of those unfortunate scenarios, which it was in this instance, man. That happens to every team, so that's fine at this point, right? But the bad really comes in today with Chelsea Football Club's reaction to conceding a goal, because in the opening 40 minutes, they were magnificent. Not just defensively, the way they moved the ball around the back, the way they controlled the game. Even if they didn't have all of the ball, they just seemed so competent and in control. But as soon as they concede, the mentality drops, errors start being made. And yeah, this is a recurring theme in this current Chelsea squad. They believe in their talents and themselves, and they know how to play football very, very well because they're incredibly skillful, and they've played a lot together, and they've, been coached together. But as soon as something happens, like they concede, the team that comes out, or the team that was playing well, just disappears, man. It's just gone. And it's infuriating to see. Yes, Kurt Zouma, Kepa making a mess of it at the back, conceding another goal. Yes, Reece James conceding that set piece late, which then leads to the equaliser. These are individual errors. It's not tactical. And yeah, so I'm not going to blame the coach. I think Frank Lampard is a flawed coach in many ways. I do want him to succeed, but I'm not, he's not like Pep Guardiola 2008. He needs to develop as a coach. But I'm looking at these individual errors, and that's what's costing it. But you know what? That's not really what's costing Chelsea. It's what comes before the individual errors. And this is this fragile mentality, this collapse. Because these players, yes, you can have a little mistake here and there, but to have recurring ones from different plays in a game when you need to not have it, that's a collective failing in mentality. Now, is it the coach's job to instill that? Maybe. I mean, we had the same problem with Maurizio Sarri, I'm trying to say. And now Frank Lampard. Yes, I'm inclined to think that if it's like a Conte, that doesn't happen because of the way he is with the players. I'm trying to soul search within here on Chelsea Therapy today and think how do I genuinely feel if it's Simeone or Antonio Conte? Do these mistakes not happen because of their disciplinarian super drilled in? Because Frank Lampard wants to be a bit more free and expressing with his coaching. I mean, I'm not so sure how I feel. Or is it just a player thing? Or is it because they're all so young? Conte and Simeone don't have kids in their team. So is it naturally going to happen because there's a bunch of youngsters on the pitch? I can't talk today. I'm really not so sure, and I don't know, man. But regardless, in today's debut episode of Chelsea Therapy, where I really just express myself in how I feel about the game, the good is the free-flowing attack, but the bad is this fragility or this fragile mentality after conceding a goal, where the collective performance shifts as a response, a poor mentality, and really that is what I wanted to talk about today. So I've expressed myself on that, but I'm really keen to see what you guys think about this situation. So get into the comment section below and tell me, what do you think about this free-flowing attack, and do you agree with me about this fragile mentality after conceding when something bad happens, the sort of internal psychological collapse? Do you agree with that? Get down in the comment section below, express yourself. If you've enjoyed this content today, drop a like on the video. Let me know if you want me to continue this series, Chelsea Therapy. I think it might be quite fun, so get down. I want to hear if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. Enjoy the football if you can. And I will see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me baby.